welcome back to yet another episode of That's Whocast, the podcast with no actual topic, we just improvise them on the week. I'm joined by my fellow brethren from the previous podcast. Please introduce yourselves.
Hello.
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 Yes, we're joined by the three Hello Migos.
Yes.
Right, for this week's podcast, we're going to be talking about films in which we like and how they might have influenced us when making our many, many productions on what we call the World Wide Web.
Yes.
Ooh.
The internet.
Yeah, we've dropped this topic on them, obviously. That was the ooh of confusion from Harvey right there.
Yeah.
No, I'm all prepared. I'm more prepared than anyone is today.
Before we start the podcast, I just want to say yet another thank you, like we do every week, to Ewan for designing the art. It would not be a podcast now without saying thank you.
Yes. Thank you.
Right.
Are we going to thank him every week? Are we going to be on podcast 240 and be like,
I don't
thank
see why
you,
not.
Ewan? We're going to keep this guy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why not? Why not?
Okay.
There's no issue with that, is there, Harvey?
No.
Are you sure, mate?
No, I'm absolutely sure. It's just,
All right. Just yeah.
we need to keep them on their toes. The audience need to keep guessing. We should put it at different places throughout.
Oh, that's good. I like that.
It's
actually.
good.
Someone write that down. That's good.
Quite finished?
Anyway.
Right, so before we actually get on to the main topic, from the previous podcast, good old Myles has collected up a few questions from people in which he knows, because the rest of us were all pied when it came to questions. So Myles, would you like to take the stage and ask the questions?
Go on, Myles, you do it.
So, I put out onto my Instagram at Myles Mackenzie Graham. Little plug there. A little thing to put, questions and whatnot. So I've got a list of them. I've taken just a few of them because there was quite a few.
Right.
And I feel like
we're so
they're all
popular.
quite topical ones. So
Right.
there's going to be some certain interesting discussions. I know.
Okay.
I'm intrigued.
So the first one, rather simple. Favorite flavour of Jelly Baby?
Okay, should we have an order here? Okay, I'll go first. I've volunteered myself to go first.
Go on, Harvey, mate. Show them what you're made of.
I don't actually know the individual flavours. The red one sticks out.
Volunteer yourself.
The red one sticks out in my mind, probably because it's the best, but it could be because it's the worst. I have no idea, but the red one. Okay.
I'm gonna go second. And I'm gonna,
Do you know the flavours?
No.
I only know the colours. There's like black.
I don't really have them. I
Red,
remember
orange,
having
yellow,
ones which is like a
green.
mix of a couple colours.
Mm.
I remember like a really light, like kind of white one.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Yeah.
That's all I know. So maybe I guess that one. I don't know what flavour it is, but yeah.
I seem vanilla.
Mm.
I'm going to volunteer myself third and say...
Go on, Sam. Show what you're made of.
I'm gonna. The black
Go on,
ones. The black ones. Like, I think they're like raspberry flavoured or blackberry flavoured. That make more sense. I don't know.
I think
maybe,
black currant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're pretty snazzy ones, and also the red ones. The rest of them can go in the bin. No, the green ones are okay as well. The yellow ones, they can sod off.
I wait, which ones?
The yellow ones.
Oh yeah, that's okay.
Myles.
I am a massive fan of the orange ones. It's quite a nice sort of flavour.
Yeah. I'm sure it is, Myles. I'm sure it is.
Hmm.
I assume it's an orange flavour, like itself, like because it's the colour orange.
I wouldn't assume it would be any different, to be honest.
I was not aware that the orange Smarties are actually orange flavoured, because I didn't know if Smarties had flavours. I thought they were just different colours.
Oh.
Well, actually, chocolate orange, so that does sound quite nice. Anyway, Miles, next question.
Yeah. Oi.
So we got opinions on other like fan film content creators, and this could be of any other franchise in that, or like, I'm assuming like the ones you've seen in that.
Harvey.
I don't really watch many fan films outside of like us four. I I mean, DW 2012's the big one, and I'm not going to say I'm a massive fan of them, but I did really enjoy Dom's first story, so I think I'm going to continue on with that. So all I can really say is whoever worked on that episode, yeah, you did a really good job. Anyway, Ed.
Oh, sorry, it's me, isn't it? Yeah. I think that fan films are cool. I haven't really watched like heaps. I've watched everyone here that's actually made one. Sorry,
Is that a
mate.
dig?
Yeah, that is, mate. I've seen Myles' stuff. I've seen Sam's. I've seen a few others. I've seen a considerable amount of DW 2012. I think some of their stuff is all right. But yeah, I think some are good, some aren't so good. But it's kind of, you know, it's admirable the effort that some people put in. Right, who's next?
Right,
Sam, mate, come on.
I've seen quite a few Doctor Who fan films in the past, but I'm not the biggest fan of watching fan films. I'd much rather be the creator than the watcher, in a sense, where it's like, one of the ones that comes to mind at first that I really liked was DDK Productions' Doctor Who Odyssey. That one was very well done. But like,
Yeah.
When in specifically Doctor, because you said any fan film, specifically Doctor Who ones are interesting to me. But I am a big follower of fan films for, say, something like Star Wars. I do like a lot of their fan films. One that comes to mind is one called I don't know how to pronounce it. I think it's Hoshino. It's about a blind Jedi. It is very well done. Probably like too high budget when you think of a fan film.
Weirdly, with Doctor Who being like that show where you can go anywhere in time and space and do anything, they are the least creative.
That's my major problem with why I think I value, say, something like Star Wars' fan films more over Doctor Who is because with Star Wars, it has to have that preparation and stuff. You can't just one day go out and film. I mean, people do, of course, but like the more major, there's lots of big fan films with a bigger budget. Whereas Doctor Who, one of the problems is with it is the mass majority of Doctor Who fan films. I would say about like 80% of them. It's just a kid in his regular clothing going out and he's mate filming, and most of them, without trying to sound offensive, they're just crap. A lot of Doctor Who films are just crap.
I'm pretty sure that was all of us once upon a time.
Oh yeah. But like, there's but the problem with Doctor Who fan film, and we've all been there at least once probably. But the thing is, when someone makes a crap fan film, their ego is always the highest. Like,
yeah,
the sort of like not the best fan films are always the ones that they try to put them across as if they've just created some next Christopher Nolan movie.
Yeah, no, I see what you mean. I do see what you mean.
I don't mean to fire shots at any fan film creators, and keep it up. Any
you know who you are.
But like, it's just not. There's other things I'd rather sit down and watch than a fan film, in a sense. Especially if it's a long one. I watch our fan films because I like to be supportive of like our group and stuff. Because I mean, like at the time this will be released, World of the Unknown would have come out yesterday. So.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
Oh yeah, this is coming out on Sunday, isn't it?
Ooh, that is spooky.
World of the Unknown yesterday, epic stuff.
Many centuries in the making.
Yeah. On the time of recording this, though, Ed and Sam saw it last night. Yeah.
Oh, I see.
That was last night.
See how it is.
I apologise.
I'll be fine. I'll just... Next question, please.
Harvey, stay up till 4 a.m. and you'll happily get to see it.
Okay, right. I'm waking up at 4 a.m. actually, so...
Oh my god.
What?
Oh.
Jesus, right.
Right, Myles?
Well, I used to, like, sit down and watch a lot, but, like, I think since 2018, I've been quite the busy bee, and when I'm not the busy bee, I'm always in a call. So
that is true.
I'm not... Like, I'll admit, I'm not really on YouTube these days. I'm more sort of just doing my own sort of thing. But, I don't know if it counts, but I'm always digging the sort of like the animations like people do with like the merch that you get from the show and whatnot. And then, there was another good one I saw the other day, actually. I can't remember the name of it, but I did enjoy it. So
Okay.
I do sometimes and often, like, do the odd Google search and the YouTube search thing, and pick a random one to see, and go give it all a good watch. I feel like I'm quite an easy person to please. So I enjoy quite a vast majority I end up watching. So yes, I still need to watch I think once upon a time ago maybe I watched the first few series of DW 2012, but I totally phased out of like sort of Doctor Who videos on YouTube, like way back when. Like I went through that sort of phase, and then I've just not gone back since. But obviously Harvey was saying like he's seen the new episode. Well, yes, the new episode with Dom, which I do want to give a watch at some point. I've been meaning to get round to it since last summer, so that's definitely on the to-do list.
I only really watched it because, I mean, I will watch it now for watching a fan film purposes, but when I did sit down and watch it, it was just for Dom, because I'm a fan of Dom. If you're watching this, Dom, which he's not, maybe, he might be, but if you are, then hope. Well done.
I love the sort of the vibrance. From what I've seen, I love the sort of vibrance look it's got. So it shall be fun to catch up on, and hopefully it'll be closer to other episodes on release as well, because obviously we're in a current pandemic. So this is more of like reflection time. Hope you got all got your reflection caps on.
I'm shining far and wide, Myles. It's very
yes.
reflective.
Yeah. Beautiful. So, most embarrassing public moment.
Harvey?
I already know what mine is.
I genuinely don't think I have had a particularly embarrassing moment, one that's worth recounting, but you can always come back to me and I can think about it, but off the top of my head, yeah, they all kind of merge into one, really. They're all on equal level of embarrassment.
Okay.
What about you, Ed?
Probably meeting up with you for the first time, I think.
Oh, I mean, that wasn't really embarrassing. I mean, we managed to get a few weird bits of filming done without getting like harassed by any of the local people. So
I think the whole shop scenario when we went into the shop.
Okay, yeah,
that was
me and Ed joint first.
When we went into the shop, picked out all these items to buy.
Wait, but which one? There was two embarrassing.
I think it was the one in the smaller shop. For me, that one I didn't like. I didn't like that at all. You know, we just go in the shop and we pick out all these items to buy and stuff, and we're like, yeah, we can get all this. Only to realise that we don't have enough money when we get to the till, and the woman's just so confused, and we're just standing there like, right, can you unscan this and scan that, and oh my, to put stuff back, and it was so awful.
Well, we did have the money. It's just I didn't understand, because it's like when you're shopping with friends, you're like, well, you've got half the money, I've got half the money. I didn't realise that one of us had it in change and one of us had it on like a card in a bank account. So that was really awkward. We just come to put it together. It's like, it's just on card, bro. And that was awful. There was also the milkshake thing, which was just I hadn't used my card before and I had to do something or other to get it to work, and I went to buy a milkshake. Luckily, some random old man went and got it for me, which I'm very grateful for.
Well, that's very kind of him.
That is very, very kind of him.
Lovely man. Right, Sam?
Like what Harvey said, I can't really recall any like publicly embarrassing moments that is like worth recalling upon. Like there's just sort of I don't know. Everybody has like that little slip up, or they sort of say or do something that like might get a few funny looks. But I genuinely I don't think I've ever done anything that embarrassing that it'll like stay with me forever. Like I can't really. No,
Yeah.
I genuinely come back to me. I'm gonna need some more thinking time. I
Myles.
don't know.
I have had countless.
Go on.
If we had like some of my like closer in real life friends like here as well, that they could probably recite a lot of times. There's been embarrassing moments, especially on the bus rides. But I'm gonna have to say, what really truly takes the crown has to be when I first had to remove luggage from a conveyor at Heathrow, and I fell onto the conveyor.
Heathrow.
I swear we've already discussed this on the podcast.
I think
I
we
think
have.
we have.
Yeah.
It was that moment. But okay, I'll pick a different for that sake. It'll probably be when I'm gonna have to say when I think there was a time where I almost walked out of a shop forgetting to pay.
I've
That's
done
quite
that.
embarrassing.
I've done
Like,
that. I've genuinely
yeah.
left.
Yeah, it
Oh.
just wasn't by accident.
No, yeah, it was by accident, but I did just accidentally leave and then realised halfway up the road.
It was just. It's just. I'm going to have to say when I was with Abby, we were going to go film. I felt a massive sneeze coming on,
Oh God.
and so I sneezed, and then
Cheeky.
essentially these two garage men, sort of like men that work in a garage. I mean, they sort of just came out of nowhere.
Right.
Like we're like, what? Where did you come from? And like they looked like they were ready to like aid us in something. Like they were ready to like help us. Right.
Yeah.
And then essentially they had thought I had had a seizure or something, and like they were getting ready to like aid me whilst like they called an ambulance and stuff. That was quite embarrassing
Just
to say.
'cause
That
you
was just me
sneezed?
sneezing. Yeah, well, it was. In fairness, it was a very loud sneeze.
You do sneeze very loudly.
So, films that have generally just we like a lot or that have inspired us, yada yada yada.
The world
gonna go
is a
first?
big place. There
It
is
is.
lots of films out there, lots of good and lots of bad. There'll be
Yes.
directors like Christopher Nolan and Shane Van Dyke.
Shane Van
All
Bloody Dyke.
all different sides of the spectrum. And
Shane Van Dyke.
people
Definitely.
love some absolute bangers, people like some absolute shit. And now we're just going to discuss what sorts of absolute bangers or shit in which we enjoy.
Right, I'm joined with Harvey.
Hello.
But I'm not joined with Sam and Myles because Harvey and I have got something planned that Myles
Sneaky.
and Sam do not know. Right, so Harvey and I have basically decided that we're going to kind of just, go undercover for this podcast. So the plan is that we're going to talk about in this podcast the films that have inspired us as filmmakers. But Harvey and I thought we'd try to mix things up. So what Sam and Myles don't know is we're actually going to rig it and give each other 3 films, Harvey and I, to talk about and pretend like we've been inspired by, despite not knowing up until we say them right now what we're going to be talking about. So it's gonna.
That was a perfect explanation, Ed.
Thank you. I've practiced. Thank you very much. Right. So Harvey, if you do the honours,
Yeah.
do you want to go first?
No, I want you to go first.
You want me to go first? All right.
I want
so,
you to go first. I want to know what I'm getting into before I let you know what you're getting into.
All right. Okay. So I'm gonna. Here you go. Right. Ready?
Okay.
The first film you have to talk about is a film from 1999, American Pie.
Oh, Christ.
You better be writing these down.
Okay. Yeah, sure. Actually, okay, I'll write them down after.
Okay, American Pie. The second one is 2008's The Boy in the Striped Pajamas.
No. Okay,
Yes.
right, yeah. Okay, right.
And the third one is everyone's favourite 2015 Joe and Casper Hit the Road.
Really? Yeah. Really? Is this what you've given me?
That is. Those are the 3 films that have inspired you as a filmmaker, Harvey. Okay.
Of any 3 in the world you could have given me, you gave me those 3.
God, you're just. They just really spoke to you.
I was not expecting that. I wish I hadn't restrained it as much now. Okay.
Right, your go.
Oh no.
All right, come on.
All right. So
Yeah.
the first film, we're gonna play it safe first of all, kind
Okay.
of ish. The first film that has inspired you as a filmmaker, Edward Hudeck, is
Yep.
the Simpsons movie.
Oh, of course. What a movie.
It is an artistic masterpiece, and I just feel like you could do it justice
Yeah.
in your explanation of why you love it so much.
Fucking hell, I haven't seen it for like 8 years. Right, okay, yeah. Brilliant.
Okay, so second of all, I think I'm going to. Okay. Second film that has inspired you as a filmmaker
Right.
is.
Mm-hmm.
It's a very complex title, so give me a second to pronounce it properly.
Okay.
The film that's inspired you as a filmmaker is Elf.
Elf! Oh, fucking
Elf.
no! Oh. Brilliant.
I'm intrigued to see how you get out of that one.
That really
And
just sums me up.
finally,
Yeah.
this is the final one. This is the one that's inspired you more than any other as a filmmaker.
Right.
And I've actually broken the rule that I said I was going to stick to about not doing films that were too recent,
Okay.
but it was too much of an opportunity to miss. The film that has inspired you more than any other as a filmmaker is Love, Simon.
What even is that?
I don't know.
Hang
I think
on.
it's-
I recognise that. Is that like a Netflix film?
I have no clue. All I know.
I recognise that title. I feel like it's like one of those like lovey films.
Oh yeah, it is. It's a
Oh,
gay
piss.
romance film.
No! Not
I
that I
think-
think it's gay, a gay romance, but like, fuck, I've never seen it. Brilliant.
I think it. I mean, I've never seen it either. I saw a review about it this morning, and
Is it even highly regarded?
I have not a clue, mate.
Oh, fuck. Brilliant.
Are we allowed to Google anything about these films?
No.
No. Okay,
No.
nothing.
Okay, so we're going to have to try and play these in, and basically, if Myles and Sam catch on, we lose.
Yeah.
I think that's it. So we have to try and play these in as like smoothly as possible. So I wish you the best of luck, Harvey.
I've lost already.
Don't worry, we'll be fine. They won't find out. Right, let's get into the podcast then.
Oh no.
Shall we go in the same order that we did all the questions in? I think that makes sense.
No, that would make sense. Yeah, let's go with
Yeah.
that. Let's go with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Harvey?
Okay, so do I need to? Shall I do it all in a short burst? All of the films that I've prepared, or?
I don't see why not, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So. Okay, I've
Go on.
chosen some, like, weird, not weird, like
Right.
ones that you would. I don't know how to describe it. Like ones that you would not expect,
Right.
but ones that are interesting nonetheless. So.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
First film is.
You're right.
You okay, Harvey?
My favourite
Yeah.
film.
Yes.
The classic.
Harvey,
First
mate,
film is.
Get yourself together, mate.
Ed, do you want to go first?
No. What? No, just say them.
Ed, come on. What's your first film?
Just why?
Okay, first one is Joe and Casper Hit the Road. I just feel like it gave me a good view of what friendship means in films. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what I mean. You can see where I'm coming from, right?
That was not
So-
that was not the film I expected out of every film ever made.
You know, do you see what I mean though about like friendship
I've
in
never
film?
I've,
No,
I've
I get
never
it, I get it, I get it.
I've never seen it, but I understand what you're going for there. Yeah, I think it's just the title which took me by surprise.
I don't.
Hold on.
I
Yeah,
didn't,
it's
I didn't
trying to
expect
read the
any of that out
title.
of Harvey's mouth.
I get it, Harvey. Yeah, mate, I understand. Right. Wait.
Anyway, it's just really friendship there. Do you want me to? Shall I go into that a bit more, or shall we go on
yeah.
to my other films?
No, go into it a bit more. I'm interested to hear.
I'm curious. I'm
Yeah.
curious.
Okay, well, the beginning where they're on the kind of fishing trip is.
Do we need to put a spoiler alert warning here, or?
Sorry, no, spoiler alert. When they're on the
Spoil-
fishing trip
Spoilers
and they're
for Joey
talking,
Casper.
they're talking about their friendship. I feel like because Casper gives a really powerful monologue, and it just kind of really made me think about what friendship means in film.
All right.
So I feel like I kind of want to endeavour in future films to make scenes kind of like that.
Okay. Yeah, no, I get that. You know,
Yeah,
you resonate with it a lot.
good. Does anyone have anything to add?
Who would you resonate with more, Joe or Casper? When they're hitting the road, of course.
Sorry.
I feel like Joe because he's
Joe, not Casper then.
he's also a Doctor Who fan,
Yeah.
and because if my parents named me Casper, I think I'd be kind of upset.
Yeah, no, I can get that, mate. I can get that.
Choked on a bit of water there. Sorry if you hear that.
Stop. I'm
How
so
are you-
sorry.
why are you choking on water for while I'm in the middle of talking about my films? Anyway, anything to add?
Sorry.
Not from me.
Could
Next
you
film.
actually? I'm more now. I've sort of settled down. I'm more genuinely curious. What is actually the plot of this film? Because I have not heard this film. before.
I've seen it. It's you know Joe Sugg and Casper Lee.
Oh, yeah, I knew who the two people were. Yeah, I didn't know.
It's basically like it's kind of like you know how like Top Gear's like slightly like staged.
Oh,
They
yeah.
act like it's real. It's kind of like that, but they go around the world like looking for a job or something like that together as friends.
Oh, I see.
That's what it's about.
So it's no Smosh the movie then.
I don't
No.
think so. No.
Ah,
No.
I'm gutted.
Okay.
Wait, aren't they already in job then if they're making a film about getting a job?
Miles, believe it or not, it's a film.
It's a film for kids. Miles. That's why Harvey watched it.
Ah, I see.
Right. Go on then, Harvey.
Okay, next one. Well, the next one is. Okay, which one shall I do first? American Pie.
All right, that one's a lot more reasonable. I would have expected that
Right.
one to be the first film.
Right. Okay. Why that?
I just think that there's it's just got quite a strong plot. Sam, have you seen it?
I have seen the first two. Yeah.
How would you describe the first one? Because it's kind of.
Honestly, I can't remember the plot very well, but I can remember them being funny films. Like, they are good American comedies.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just kind of. Because I'm more of a fan of comedy than I am of horror or anything like that. So I just feel like there's a very high standard set that I kind of, when I make films, I want to.
Would you say you're a big
Well-
fan of comedy then?
Yeah, no, definitely.
Yeah.
Not.
So
This
your
is.
third film will be a comedy then.
I mean. No, it isn't. But
Oh, okay. Oh.
I am a big fan of comedies. Not necessarily.
Okay.
This isn't necessarily my favourite, but
I
think
actually
it's-
haven't seen it. Wait, what's it about?
Well, Sam, what would you say?
If I remember rightly from memory, American Pie is just about sort of like the sort of not nerdier, but there's more unpopular teens trying to get laid. That is the plot of it, pretty much, isn't it? It's just
Oh yeah.
it's just horny teens wanting sex. That is American Pie, pretty much.
Inspiring
does-
stuff, guys. Inspiring
Does
stuff.
it take your interest, Ed?
No.
Anyway.
They are funny films. We're not describing them very well. I haven't seen it in quite a long time.
Oh, two funny films, man. Okay, what's your third?
Well, let me find the right one. The Boy in the Striped Pajamas.
Sorry, not the middle of. Sorry.
Why is that funny, Sam?
Give me a second. It's just it's just the change. We can all see what was funny
Just-
there.
Just the way that they kind of, in contrast to the others, really, kind of the way it kind of takes the subject matter and really like.
I'm gonna say this now. There's nothing funny about the boy in the striped pajamas.
Yeah.
It's just the
I
contrast.
cried. I didn't actually realise like what it was
So
about
did
when I
I.
initially put it on.
The ending is so brutal. I thought it was going to be like reasonably like safe, but no. It's like when you do something like that, you either like you have to go big, right?
Yeah.
And you can't like sugarcoat it. Is that the word?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, yeah, you have to go brutal.
I just think that the brutal way it handles it is really kind of inspiring. Really.
It's a good mix of films.
Anyone got any opinions on that one?
I very much do enjoy the boy in the striped pajamas. Like, it's,
Enjoy.
You'll no enjoy it as a film because it's seeing like the war from an innocent child's perspective, not understanding what any of it really means. I mean, in the film, he thinks the word the Führer is like an abbreviation of father, does he not? Like he's very, very innocent and doesn't understand the concepts of war.
Yeah.
And like I imagine most children were in Nazi Germany. He's brainwashed in a sense to think it's very intriguing to see this sort of friendship, no relationship going on in that film between two unlikely characters.
Yeah, everything aside, it is a masterpiece. Like one of the best films I've ever seen, and it probably stuck with me for quite a while.
Yeah, it's a good list there, Harvey.
Just thinking about the ending is wrong.
Yeah, no, I do agree. Actually.
Anyway,
I'm gonna nominate Myles to go next.
Hey,
no,
no,
I'm
you're
going
next.
in the order of
You're
the
next.
questions.
You're next,
Ed, it's your go.
Is it me?
Yeah, sure.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So, I know what you were all going to expect me to say, which is like Interstellar and Searching. So I've kind of not gone for those because you guys already know, and I wanted something new for the podcast. You know? Okay.
Yeah.
So it's not just boring for you.
If it's not I Am Mother, I will riot.
Okay, there's no I Am Mother. I'm sorry. I am a
I'm
big
gonna
fan
riot.
of sci-fi, which is why the first film on my list is the Simpsons movie.
What?
Really?
I don't know. No. I never really watched much of the Simpsons show, but I have seen the Simpsons movie. It was kind of one of the first films I actually remember watching, if I'm honest.
I didn't expect that.
That movie,
Yeah, I was not expecting that
Really?
at all.
the Simpsons
That's the thing.
movie is pretty iconic. To be fair, like
Yeah, no, exactly. Like it's stuck with me a lot, and I just have a lot of nostalgia. I have like an insane amount of nostalgia for it, especially compared to other films, at least.
whenever I see like a dome now in a film or anything, my first thought back is always like the dome in the Simpsons movie.
Yeah,
That
when I was
is-
watching Orphan 55, I was thinking we're in the Simpsons movie right now. You know?
Yeah, you know what? I did have that correlation. I genuinely thought I was watching the Simpsons movie when watching Doctor Who.
Yeah.
So, is there anything that inspires you, or is it just a good film?
I don't know. It's kind of just like it's really nostalgic, and I don't know. I just think about it a lot when when I'm watching films and stuff. So I kind of just wanted to include it on the list just because of the amount of nostalgia that I hold with it.
I haven't seen it in a while. What's the plot again? In
You
summary?
can't remember the plot of the Simpsons movie.
The plot is like
No.
what was it? Was like was it the family as a whole, or was it just Homer who does something wrong? No, yeah,
I don't know.
Homer buys a pig, and he
does,
he has like a pig silo, and he ends up dumping it in an already polluted lake, and they have to put a dome over Springfield, and then all the members of Springfield start like rioting and stuff against them, and they end up breaking out the dome, and it's like the government trying to bring them back into the dome.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember it.
It's just
now.
fun. I think Green Day's in it for a bit and stuff like that. It's all those kind
they
of
are,
fun
aren't
things.
they?
They got like the pig and everything, so it's fun.
It's-
It was just
Do
fun.
you want to? What do you think about animated movies in general?
I don't know. I think.
Are you a watcher?
I mean, it depends on the film. If it's a good film, I'll watch it. If it's a bad film, I won't. That's kind of the way it works. Like, it doesn't matter, animated or not, really. But another film that really resonates with me is you know Elf.
The Christmas film.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I watched that every Christmas when I was younger. I don't know why. I know a lot of people watch
Very
Home Alone and
weirdly.
stuff.
Very weirdly, Sam and I were talking about Elf earlier.
Really?
Oh.
Yeah.
Can you? Sorry, this is another one that I haven't seen for like.
You haven't seen Elf?
Genuinely.
Oh
No,
no,
I
for a
did
while.
watch it.
Okay.
I watched it in primary school, but that was primary school. What?
Yeah.
Like, if you were trying to sell it to me, Ed, what would you say?
I don't know. It's just a good Christmas movie about like an elf. You know, and then like it's about like, his relationship with his dad, and then like them kind of building, you know, it's like
Yeah.
as father
Yeah,
and son,
so-
the relationship, you know.
What
It's just fun.
inspires
It's just
you?
fun. I don't know. I just like whilst I do like sci-fi, I also do like a good like family film, and like that's kind of the one family film that kind of resonates with me a lot. Like other films, like there are similar, like you know, like The Grinch and stuff, but this one is kind of more so. It's just kind of like a lot of nostalgia with this one as well.
What do you think of because one bit that has stuck with me over all this time? What do you think of the like plot resolution at the end?
I do like it. Anyway, my next film. Thanks, Harvey. My next film and my last one is probably. Do you guys know the film Love, Simon?
Yeah, that's the one with Thingy, is it? The guy from Baby Driver.
Yeah.
I'm aware. I've never seen it, but I am aware of the.
What's it about?
It's about a guy called Simon. It's a pretty serious one from my note. I think it's about
You're not making it out to be serious.
No, the worst bit about this that you're laughing isn't the film, like, you know, you could describe it actually. Go on, let's see. You say it after laughing.
Alright, the film is about gay rights and gay equality, which I
Ed.
take. No, I do take really seriously. I watched it. And it had like a strong kind of message at the end, and the end was quite impactful. So I don't know. It just
What
resonated.
happened
It was
then?
a film-
Because I
it was a film
remember
that
like
came out quite recently from what I remember. I think it was on Netflix, and it was just I don't know. I watched it one night, and I was just like, wow, that's actually like quite good. And it's just one of the films in recent years which I kind of like think back to every so often, which a lot of films I don't usually. So yeah.
I know the plot about the guy getting bullied generally. What do you think about what happens to him at the end?
I think the fact that like you know he like confronts the bully at the end, but then he doesn't do anything is actually quite like it's just powerful, and it just shows that you don't have to retaliate. You know.
Yeah, but what about the ending? It's really brutal and it's
No, it's not.
kind
Have
of
you not
it's
seen it?
awful.
Have you not seen it? It's not brutal.
No, I
at all.
have. It is.
I'm so confused.
I don't know what Harvey's on about. Right. Okay. Brilliant. Right. Anyway, moving on. Who's next? It was Sam, wasn't it?
That'd be me. I have my list of 10 films, but as we've seen to be being a consistent 3, I'm going to pick and choose as I'm talking throughout these 10 films. 3 of
Okay.
them.
Okay.
I'm going to start with, because I feel like I have to talk about this film, because it's just my all-time favourite film, and that's Ferris Bueller's Day Off. Now, this film, it's a great film about friendship. It's not quite Joe and Casper hit the road, but it's...
Yeah.
Now, Ferris Bueller, I don't even know what's so great about. I mean, most people know, whether they know it comes from this or not, know of like the song. It's like, oh yeah, dun dun, and it's like that. It has some iconic staples in cinema, like most films from the 80s. To be fair, like, but yeah, Matthew Broderick in that film, he does an incredible job at portraying sort of like the cool sort of teen that we would all want to be, where he's sort of like he's not a bad person, but he's also not necessarily the good kind of person. Like he has that personality that he's friendly with everybody, and he just does the stuff that you'd want to do and gets away with it. And it's sort of like it sort of betrays this sort of like with trying not to sound like weird about it, like a sort of like a dream idol of how you'd want to be a teen, in a way that like you can just sort of get away with whatever you want. Of course, it's the point of a film is to take you out of reality and sort of distract you from the real world. And Ferris Bueller, I think, sets that up perfectly by putting you in this sort of like dream state of everything goes the main character's way. Can't say the same for the side characters, especially Paul Cameron. He gets shit throughout the film. Like,
Who here's seen the film?
I haven't.
You haven't. Okay. All right.
well,
So it's just kind of Sam.
I would highly recommend Ferris Bueller.
Okay, I'll
It's a fun
definitely
film.
give it a
I'll
watch.
check it out.
Next film I'm going to pick out off of this list is Skyfall. Like, that is a film I had recently only just... Well, I won't say recently, it's been a couple of months. Yeah, but it's new to me in a sense.
list.
Oh, I'm sorry. But yeah, Skyfall is just, like, whether you're a fan of James Bond or not, it is just an incredible film. Sam Mendes and it was Roger Deakins who did the cinematography.
It
Skyfall
was
as
Sam,
well.
yeah.
Yeah. They are just an iconic duo. And also Daniel Craig's Bond. It's going to be sad if it is true that he goes after No Time to Die, because he does like an incredible James Bond, and it's just such a fun film. Like,
So have we all seen that?
Yeah.
What did you, sorry, just Ed, compared to Love, Simon, what did you think of like the whole sort of spy aesthetic?
Very different films.
I drew a parallel.
Yeah, no, I don't see the parallel there, if I'm honest. I think Spyfall's definitely a different film. Like one's a
Skyfall, yeah.
One's a Bond film, one's not. You know.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry, carry on, Sam.
all right, I'm going to go on to my last film, and now I was thinking I'd want to talk about Return of the Jedi, but I'm not going to do it just because that's Star Wars talk. And I mean, if you want to talk about Star Wars with me, message me. But like, I'm going to go with Black Klansman because that one was actually, it's a very, very powerful film about black rights.
Yeah.
And stuff. And I just find it so interesting, the fact that like it's a comedy, but it's not a comedy done in a sense where it's made to be offensive. It's made to be more, I would say, attacking towards the Ku Klux Klan instead of harming. I mean, it was made by Spike Lee, who is like a black director, and John David Washington. He did a brilliant performance. Same with Adam Driver. The film is just it's really interesting to see this black cop already struggling in the workplace and then ends up accidentally signing himself up for the Ku Klux Klan. So then he needs to help Adam Driver infiltrate the Ku Klux Klan and sort of close the operation down and put a stop to it. And it's such an interesting film. And it took me by surprise because I've heard it recommended and stuff. And the reason why I watched it was I was on an Adam Driver binge to try to watch all of these films. And genuinely, it was just a really, really good and powerful film. Like, it had its messages there and it was portrayed right. And I suppose it's very, in a sense, like how you chose Love, Simon. It has that sort of like expressing rights in the film, and that's something that should always be sort of like added into films. Like,
oh no, I definitely do agree. Yeah, no, definitely.
It's in the one I would like. I haven't seen any other films by Spike Lee actually, but I've heard lots of good things. And just before going on to Myles, the other films on my list were 2001: A Space Odyssey, Top Gun, Transformers 1, Spider-Verse, Dunkirk, Return of the Jedi, and Mad Max: Fury Road. Just if anybody was interested. Nobody is.
Good films.
Anyway, Myles, would you like to take the stage?
Go on, Myles.
Yes, because I have actually, because I was going to wing it. I actually remembered I had taken. I was going to make a post about my top 10 favourite films, but I never actually made it. But I still have the posters on my phone, so I can just my mind's more eased. So I'm trying to pick stuff that I don't know if you'll expect or not expect. Inception.
Okay.
I much enjoyed Inception.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was very trippy.
Yeah.
Inception is like one of the key masterworks that comes to mind when you think of Christopher Nolan. Like,
yeah, no, definitely.
He is like the genius at sort of like taking the perspective of life and changing it, whether that be exploration of space, the mind, even like superheroes and stuff. With his
Did you say Megamind?
No, the mind.
Okay.
So like Inception.
I'd say it's close to being as iconic as Elf. Did you say so, Ed?
I mean, I don't know. It's just, I definitely think Inception's good. Don't get me wrong. I just think Joan Casper Hit the Road it changed your perspective more.
Oh Christ.
Okay.
I'd argue. But yeah, no, Inception definitely is good, Myles. It's a good pick.
I did have Skyfall on that list, but Sam picked that one already.
I'm so sorry. When I had a list of 10, I'm sorry that I managed to pick one that you had already chosen.
I unfortunately I have to sort of go back to one which is sort of predictable, but Pirates of the Caribbean at World's End. Love that one. Love it to death. It's definitely the darkest of the franchise. like whilst the story may not be perfect and it might have plot holes in that, it is like one of those films where you can look right past it because it is that enjoyable.
Yeah.
And
I think
It
what
was,
you said you can look past it. Is that what you just
Yeah.
said then? You do realise
Yeah.
you realise look past means you can skip this one.
oh no, I mean look past. I mean no, I mean like look past the sort of plot holes and stuff.
Oh, okay,
Yeah,
yeah. Because
that's what I
usually,
meant.
if
Yeah.
you're talking about a franchise, if you say you can look past that one, it means you can skip that film.
Oh no, what I said or what I was meaning to say, I can't remember. Was like the plot hole. Like even though it's got its plot holes in that, it's so enjoyable that you can look past it.
Much like American Pie, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, to be fair.
And then the more I think about this, the more I think I think you're going to expect it now. But 1917.
Great film.
I actually wasn't. For some
Um,
reason, I had Night at the Museum in my mind for the last one that you was going to say.
oh,
I'm not quite sure.
that was on the list. That was on the list. Night at the Museum. But like, I think the way he did it was amazing. Like the whole one shot stuff. I'm not big on I'm not nowhere as knowledgeable with like the visual side of film production as Mike, at least Sam and Ed. I'm more so like I couldn't identify any like the cuts unless it was like more obvious that like if, for example, jumping into water and that. But like I found that very 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 powerful. It was just like I remember in the cinema, like it was a very impactful moment when they all begin
Spoilers.
to sort of attack.
Yeah.
Sorry, spoiler alert. But it definitely made me cry.
I mean,
and,
Myles, what would you were you like a fan of like the relationship between the two guys in it? Yeah.
And that's it
I
was
feel like John Casper.
it was really impactful to see the sort of like the how he just sort of had to walk off and leave his body where it was.
Yeah.
Because you couldn't stop during the war. You just had to keep going to prevent stuff, and the fact that he just there's one point after going through like all this stuff, he just breaks down, and that it is only for about 30 seconds he can break down for, because then something else happens.
Yeah.
That's quite impactful because it feels like that is the only time you've got to also reflect on what's been happening. So it was just it is like it
is a very good
great
film,
experience on your first
Definitely.
sort of watch. Oh yeah, hang on, backtracking a little bit. Another reason why I really loved watching the film was because I had an understanding of World War One before I watched it, because I did that for my I studied that era for my exams, and so I actually sort of understood the things that were in there, which maybe to someone who doesn't necessarily know much about World War One, might not actually click with. Sorry, but yes, forward tracking now. There was the CGI and everything was great in that.
Yeah.
Pirates of the Caribbean, they're also very renowned for their like CGI.
Yeah.
Because I don't think any of it's aged badly, which is great, especially Davy Jones. Like that was like 2006. It looks like that could have been done like this year.
I mean,
like,
saying
today.
that though, to be fair, the mass majority of films nowadays haven't got the best. Like, although visual effects in some films are going up, the mass majority of films are going down in quality, I would say, in visual effects. I feel like they're getting more lazy when they realise they can earn money from them no matter what they produce. Like, although the CGI example for a film like Avengers Endgame was good, most of it, some of that CGI I would say is some of the worst of last year.
I think the problem I see with it, especially in recent years, is I don't know if you know what I mean here, but I feel like it could be too clean.
Yeah, no, I get that. Yeah,
Mhm.
that is probably one of my problems. I'd say with again the two most recent Avengers films, and also I think it's the fact that films rely too much on CGI nowadays. It brings in an audience by having a large CGI fight. Some films when say it's required, say like I don't know how you would pull off a Transformers movie without a big CGI fight because of course, well that one's self-explanatory, but like something like the Avengers movies, a lot of stuff that you see is CGI could have been done in real life. Like especially, I think Marvel films and DC films after Avengers 2 started to go downhill in my opinion in visuals. Like by the time it hit Captain America: Civil War, that film looked dreadful in my opinion because it was just so flat and all the colours were sort of. It just didn't work. It's CGI a lot of the time.
Okay, yeah. Well, those are our top films. That was wonderful stuff, guys.
Yeah, anyone have anything else to say about the films?
Or is there any other film, like another film anyone wants to make a comment on or anything like that?
Harvey?
No, not really. Ed?
No? Myles?
No, except
Myles?
There's a lot of nostalgia. I could probably ramble on about many different films. Probably more or less every film I've ever seen. I could probably tell you why I enjoyed it for one reason or another. I don't know if anyone, but one of my most nostalgic ones. I don't know if anyone else saw this film. I think I got it in like a sort of, I think it was like Asda's sort of bargain DVD bits. It was like Aliens in the Attic.
Oh yeah.
It was I don't know. I think if I were to watch it today, I don't know if it'll be like
Groundbreaking
good
cinema.
plot wise if I the way I remember it, but like I remember just thoroughly enjoying it as like a kid.
Okay.
But, yeah.
There's one, Ed, when we were talking this morning, what was the one you said? You said you thought about having the 1989 Batman movie?
Why?
I think you're mistaken. I think I said Dark Knight because I've never seen that one. I probably said Dark Knight.
Alright.
I won't lie, mate. Yeah, no, Dark Knight just because it's Christopher Nolan. We love Christopher Nolan.
I'm gonna slide in a little plug here. If you want to hear any more of my views on films, go follow my Letterboxd account because I post film reviews on there quite often. I haven't actually, I don't think, ever done a film review for any of these films I've listed here. Oh no, I've done Ferris Bueller, but like I'll do more. So
Yeah.
go give some a read if you've got nothing else to do.
Yeah, why not? Yeah.
So then, boys, who's doing the outro? Come on, let's do the outro.
All right. Thank you guys for listening. We hope you enjoyed. Before we do the outro, I do want to say,
Yeah.
Harvey and I have rigged our things. Prior to this, we chose and recorded a section where we picked each other's films.
Wait, what?
So that is why our choices have been slightly peculiar. But yeah.
Wait, what? What?
I picked 3 films for Ed, and Ed picked 3 films for me.
Yeah. Some of which we
Christ.
haven't even seen.
Is this why? Hang on, wait. What? Wait, hang on, wait, what?
Some of which we haven't even seen, by the way.
God.
Sam, wait, did you know about
I did
this?
not know about this. No.
I was so. Wait, what? Sweet. Was this why they're like? You were like laughing.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh.
I haven't seen Hello Simon, nor do I know what it's about.
Love Simon.
I've never heard of it.
I did not know a single.
I'm not
one
even
of my
joking.
3.
Listen, right? Do you want to
Actually,
know
I knew
what?
the boy in the striped pajamas.
You know, like, essentially, like, Sam and I had literally we messaged going, "What is this mess?"
Wait, what?
What,
Because
during the
like
podcast?
What?
Because like, you were just sort of like sniggering like at all these sort of like.
Well, I hope that adds some clarity to it.
Sam, you got anything to add?
No, thank you for watching this podcast. Please join in next week for episode 4 of the podcast.
Quiz show.
And we'll see you all later.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.
I can't believe this.